What is up? It's your boy Jonni, Shreve, BB Promos to tell like it is. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast Uncut. Today we got a special guest. I got my boy here, Remington James. I'll say pretty much a lot of you guys will probably know who he already is. But those who don't, this is my opportunity. This is like the second time we're talking. So we chatted for a little bit yesterday. We were going to do a podcast here yesterday, actually. And we decided, you know what, let's do it tomorrow so we were more prepared. So I had to know a little bit, but not enough. So this is my opportunity for me to find out who is Remington James. You know what I mean? Like, who are you? You know what I mean? So, welcome. Appreciate you coming on the channel. Let's dive into like who are you? Like, let me know. Where you from? You know? Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long story if we're going all the way back to the beginning. But I think
give it to me.
We're just beginning with like a who am I on the whole. I mean, I think some of your audience knows, but probably some of them don't. If I would say that you're a workout, I mean, I won't say you're just a workout channel, but you know what I mean? Like,
like, training.
You're more on the form, the technique.
Yeah.
And I'm really, what I've done on YouTube is mainly diet focused.
Yeah. So you are. So those of you who don't know, who already do know, but those who don't, Remington is another very good, like healthy recipes. You know, like you need a recipe that can give you the same taste as if it was like, you know, something off the shelf or whatever. He's got all those recipes. So similar to, you know, other channels and whatnot, but he's got his own swinging thing.
You being a bodybuilder,
yeah.
you know what it takes when you're trying to get that lean, like how crazy those diets get.
I
imagine your diet, I don't know what your diet is right now, but at one point it was probably chicken, rice, broccoli.
Yeah. It was. I did go through, it was when I first started bodybuilding, it was chicken, broccoli, and rice. You know, I could cook. So I don't mind chicken, broccoli, and rice. But then it did turn into, I was coached by Greg Doucette, and then that came into, you know, the recipes, you know, the French toast, popcorn, you know, the shakes, all the recipes and stuff. So I really, you know, got to dive into that and do full preps and seeing the effects of that. But I like both. I like a good combination of both. You know what I mean? So like, you know, if I need something like, you know, there's a lot of things I still do that I like to keep on it, but I like the good mixture of both. I like my sweet potatoes, and I like your whole foods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ain't nothing wrong with a big plate of some proteins, some good whole food. And the thing that you feel so good after you eat like that too.
Yeah. I think the combination of both is the best. So that's what he does, obviously, like, and good at it. You know, but I want to like, so your channel, that is your channel. Like you show, you know, healthy recipes. Right. You know what I mean? So. And you're, you know, almost a million, really close to a million subs and whatnot. But what, like, everyone sees this part. Everyone always sees, oh yeah, Remington, he's got all these, you know, he's successful, whatever. But no one, you know, knows what happened from, you know, from A to B. Like when, so I want to know, like, you know, what, like, how did you get, like, what were you doing? Like, you know, what were you doing before this? Like, what happened? Tell me that. That's what we want to know.
Okay. So I would say that, like the majority of people, I would assume a lot of people can relate. Like when I graduated high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. No idea. Mom wanted me to go off to college and become a nurse. You know, just everybody around me was going off to school. I mean, back when. So how old are you, by the way?
I was about to ask you the same question. How dare you ask me that? Damn it. 38. I'll be 30. Damn, 39 this year.
Okay, 39. There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm 31.
Yeah.
So I'll be 32 in July. So
right in
when, dude, we're both getting old.
Right? I remember it was like, I remember getting close to 30, and then I got this ring in my head like, yo, like you get your shit together when you're in your 30s. You know, that's when I was, you know. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
But like you know, man, like things are different now. When we were growing up, and probably even more so for you, like. YouTube wasn't a thing. No. Going to be an entrepreneur was
go to school.
Well, you know, going to be an entrepreneur was not the norm. It was like what you were told was go to college, get a degree, work for the man, 9 to 5.
Yep.
You know,
get a pension,
house, picket fence.
Yep.
Yeah, kids.
Yeah.
There was just like this traditional path laid out. And where I'm from, I'm from a really small town in southern Ohio called Logan, Ohio.
Okay.
And it's I mean, man, it's so weird because now that I live in Houston, like. You know, I lived in that town basically my whole life up until, you know, and the only time I moved like 20 minutes down the road from there to another city. But for the most part, I'm in this like same area. And coming to Houston has been a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Just
bigger.
I mean, you do bigger, culturally.
Different everything. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, Yeah, what, dude? Where I'm from, the memes you okay. When so you're from Canada, so I don't know how close you pay attention to this. But when the U.S. Capitol, all that stuff happened down here, and you see the pans of all the people that were like standing around in the coats, like if you just took a screenshot of that, that was like that's my hometown, that's the demographic.
All right.
100%.
All right.
Just painting a picture.
All right.
But so very small-minded.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And I'm not even saying that to like knock them as people always think of, but I'm just like very like no one from my town had ever really done anything.
Just very traditional.
There we go. Very traditional. That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
So, I graduate high school, and I have no idea what I want to do. But at the time, I was just like a party animal. Like, that's one thing I've struggled with my whole life is I love the party, and dude, and if I get to drinking or getting to anything like that, like whatever, like if I have like 4 drinks, you might as well have put a Superman cape on me.
Yeah.
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Anything. Right. And that type of stuff led when I was a senior in high school. Well, right after we graduated, me and a group of my friends, we all went on like a senior trip, and my best friend actually died on our senior trip.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, man, we were. Everybody was drinking, and like it was one of those things where like we get down there, and we're all kids, man. Like I'm not even 18. I'm still 17, and like a lot of our friends are 18, and we're going down there, and for some reason in our friend group, like we all thought it was super cool to like drink as much as you could. Get blacked out, wake up, do it again,
Yeah.
And when we went down on this senior trip, basically it was 2 cars with all the boys in it, maybe like 10 or 11 of us. And then my mom, we went down to Myrtle Beach. And then my mom was also like, hey, we're taking our family vacation to Myrtle Beach at the same time. This was before GPS and all that. Like, you guys can follow us down, stay for the week, do it. And when it's time, we come back. When it came time to come back, there was a certain portion of our friends that had a little extra money, and like, we're going to stay a couple more days.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, well, we're leaving. We had a friend that needed to catch a flight. He had to go senior trip with his girlfriend. So we're on our way back, and I just remember, like, we're just kind of driving, and we're like maybe, 5-10 minutes from my house back in Ohio. So, I'd been driving for like 8 hours or whatever. And then, like, I get a text, and it's like, Corey's dead.
Oh.
Corey died. Like, Corey fell. He's not all right. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like what's, like, freaking out. And then they're like, yeah, he died. And then come to find out, they were all drinking up on like a 10th story of a hotel in a hallway, and they got to like wrestling.
Yeah.
And then something happened, and he fell out of a window and fell 10 stories. And when that happened, when you're young, trauma and shit, like, it's so weird to think about. It's taken me to get like older to really like sit and really think about this. But like, you look at like certain points in your life when you were struggling mentally, or you were going through things, or maybe you leaned a little too much on alcohol, drugs, whatever. And like, I remember, like, because here was the other part, man. So we get back to Ohio, and he's passed away, and I'm the first person that knows about it, and our group of people in our car are the first people that know about it. And at the time, like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're all standing around crying. We had just pulled into the house, like, drove 8 hours, crust in our eyes and all that stuff, and like, we're all crying. And my mom looks at me, and I was like, how do we tell his parents? And my mom's like, well, I can't call her. We should drive out to the house. Oh. So I still remember to this day, like, we took my car out, but I was so upset, like, they didn't want me driving. So my stepdad's driving, my mom's in the passenger, I'm in the back. And like, we pull up, and I remember like we pulled into his driveway, and his mom's just sitting on the front porch out in the country knitting, right? And, we're walking up, and I remember, like, I get out, I'm bawling, my mom's crying, like, everybody's crying, and she's like, what's going on? And then my mom just, like, shakes her head no, and then her mom's like, is it Corey? Is he all right? And then my mom just shakes her head no, and she's like, what? Is he dead? My mom shakes her head yes. And I just remember, like, that scream that she let off, like, was, holy shit, like, I'll never, ever, ever in my entire life forget that. Ever. And, so that happened, and that left like a really, 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 really big mark on me. And I remember, like, it was immediately after that, because we went on our senior trip, and I maybe had like a month left in town before I went off to college. And my mom wanted me to go to OSU Newark, so my grades weren't good enough for me to go straight to like a main campus. So the idea was go to like the branch campus, do that for a year, and then you can transfer over. So that was the goal. But I remember, man, I went up to college, and like, I went up, because my mom at the time was like, you know, like the friends you're around aren't doing you any good. Like you guys are partying too much. You're doing this, you're doing that. This just happened. And around that whole situation, there was a lot of drama because, you know, like I said, like wrestling in the hallway or whatever. So there was 100%. Blame being cast.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Like no one really, like, you know, and then obviously his family's like, well, who did it? And then, like, the stories weren't mad. It was just a very weird thing. So my mom wanted me out of there, and she went up, got me an apartment, you know, at this, gave me like a little, I think she was giving me, like, she paid for my apartment for me. And she gave me like, you know, it was like $200 a week or no, it was something like that. Maybe $200 a week to just like kind of live on. Yeah. And she's like, all you need to do is go up here and go to school. And I remember sitting up there and we had like songs that we would listen to together. Corey Smith was like a country singer. Yeah. That he had some songs like If I Could Do It Again and just a bunch of party songs, like some old school country songs. I remember like sitting there at my computer desk in this city, didn't know anybody, with a 30-pack of Keystone Light, and I've drank like 13 of them, and I'm just sitting there like bawling, listening to this music like over and over and over again. Yeah. And it was shortly after that I started, like, there were friends back home that would do like Percocets and things like that. Yeah. And I remember like I would get this money that I would have, and I would withdraw it, and I would drive like all the way like an hour back home. I would buy like these pain pills, drive all the way back to my apartment, and I would just like pop pills and drink and just like, you know, drown my, you know, because here's something I'm trying to do as I get older is like, you know, when I feel a certain way, whether I'm upset, whether I'm angry, you know, if I have any type of feelings about anything, I try to like get to the root of those and be like, why do you feel like this right now? Yeah. You know, like, what's the cause? What can we do to make this better? Like, confronting my emotions. But back then, instead of confronting them, I just tried to drown them, bury them. You know, alcohol makes me happy. So if I'm just drinking every day, then, you know, I'm happy. So I'm in college and I'm not doing well. I'm skipping classes. I think I barely passed like my first like little, I think they call those semesters. Barely passed. And then I actually ended up kind of meeting people. So we start partying more, and then we get more into alcohol. And, you know, I was thinking that, you know, I feel like I had a lot of things I'd never dealt with. Like the Corey thing, when he passed, I never really dealt with it. Just some childhood shit I never really dealt with. And I just kept like leaning into the alcohol and the drugs. And there was one night that we took mushrooms. Yeah. And I had taken them before, but I don't know why. But this time I took them. And like I was having a really, really, really good time. And then out of nowhere, like, the trip like turned on me. And in the middle of it, I was having like I remember sitting there on the couch. We were watching, it was a Grindhouse. Like, it was Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, okay. So we're watching that. And for some reason, I'm watching it. And I remember like my chest started like really hurting. Yeah. And I had no idea why. And I remember my vision like went black. Yeah. And it like a curtain was closing. Like the old school cartoons. Yeah. And I remember I stood up, had a full-blown panic attack. I went to the hospital, and they're like, dude, like, I didn't tell them I took shrooms, but they're like, you're fine. We think, you know, and at the time I didn't even realize it, but I was waking up. This is like the addict in me. I would wake up and I would go and buy like those Yellow Jacket caffeine pills from the gas station.
Old school, Dude,
old school. And I'd have those in my pocket, and I just like Tic Tacs all day. Yeah. I'm taking those. My friends are prescribed Adderall. They're giving me Adderalls. Yeah. I'm smoking weed. I'm popping shrooms. I'm drinking. I'm sleeping 3 hours. I just didn't realize all this stuff was like affecting me that way. And then after that, I went to the hospital. I had like this, dude. From that point on, I dealt with panic. Like my whole life, I never had a panic attack. And after that point, for the next, probably at least 2 years, like maybe 3 even now that I'm thinking about it, I dealt with like random panic attacks. And that was one of the worst things. Have you ever had a full-blown panic attack? It's awful. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's awful. Yeah. I mean, like, to be sitting there playing a video game and eating Taco Bell, and the next thing you know, no reason, you get covered in chills. Yeah. You get clammy. Yeah. You have no idea why. You're more scared than you've ever been in your life. Yeah. And all you're looking at is a screen and a bag of tacos. Like, so I'm dealing with this anxiety, and I was fully convinced that something was wrong with my heart. I don't know why, but I had this like thing in my head that something was wrong with my heart. I kept having these panic attacks, and I'm like, I was Googling things, and I was reading about it. and I thought I really fucked myself up. I remember like I kept going back to the hospital and getting EKGs because I was like, something's wrong. Like, tell me what's wrong. They're like, no, you're fine. And I remember I got one of the EKGs and I had the results and I taped it up to my wall in my house on it and I wrote you are okay on it.
Yeah.
Just to, like, as a reminder.
Yeah.
That, like, you know. And so all of this stuff, like, this was all happening. And at the same time, I had this, so I've always had really sensitive skin, but I've never dealt with eczema or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then I go off to college, and the weird part was, I remember right when we moved, I had these, like, rashes that developed on my arms.
Yeah.
Like, completely up and down. And I had no idea why. No clue. And it was made me super self-conscious. I remember we'd like go to gym class, or I'd like it was badminton I was taking in college or something, right?
Yeah.
So you would change into your gym. I remember like I always had to wear long sleeves because my arms and my legs were so like, and I had no idea why. So I'm thinking in my head, like I'm dealing with all this stuff, and I'm thinking in my head too, like I'm dealing with anxiety, like just all this crap, right? And I remember it was like the summer after all this stuff kind of happened, and as it started to get nice out again. So this would have been going into my second year of college technically, this was the summer before, and I remember like summer starts coming. I started like lifting weights, and I was outside more, and for some reason, like my skin all cleared up. I wasn't really getting the anxiety, the panic attacks were like not really happening. I was like feeling good, right?
Yeah.
And one night I remember I was Googling or someone said something in my apartment. I had black mold.
Yeah.
It was like growing on the ceiling. And I remember like I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I would call them like, hey, there's something on the ceiling. They'd come, they'd like spray it with bleach, paint over it, right?
Yeah.
So I did some Googling, and then Google tells me that black mold causes skin issues, causes anxiety if you breathe it in. It can cause all these problems, right?
Yeah.
So as much as now, I do think at least the skin stuff might have been black mold.
Yeah.
Because I grew up like, I'm a pretty clean guy.
Yeah.
So I don't think I was ever in areas that had mold like that.
Yeah.
The mold can be pretty deadly, but I'm pretty sure the skin problem was the black mold.
Yeah.
But in my head, I justified that every problem I had was black mold. Like, the panic attacks were black mold, even though I knew it was shrooms. Like, the depression, even though I knew like my friend had passed away and I never dealt with it right, and there was a lot of unanswered questions, and I was drinking myself. Like I just blamed it all on the black mold. So I call my mom, and I go, I need to get out of here. And she's like, no. I'm like, I'm moving out here right away. Like, black mold, da-da-da. And then she's like any sane mom should have done, she's like, hold your horses. Like, give us a little time. Like, I don't really know the full story, whatever. And I was like, basically like, F you, I'm getting out of here, like, no matter what. You know? And, dude, I took everything in that apartment that I had. Remember, I like knew people around, and I literally like, this is so dumb in retrospect, but I gave like everything I had away. Literally, my furniture, my bed. I had the only thing I kept was like a few choice items of clothing, and oh man, yeah. I mean, I got a box of stuff when I moved back that like my mom had somehow gotten, and it had like a couple yearbooks and stuff in it. But everything, like literally everything I had, TV, everything I gave away. And my friend had lived up in Newark at the same time, and I told him, like, at this point, honestly, I was out of my mind. Like, I was not seeing things clearly. Yeah. I was definitely, if I look back, I don't like the word like mental break, but I was manic. Especially, dude, when I found out the black mold thing, and I was convinced that this was the root cause of every problem I'd had this whole last year and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
I just wanted out, and told my friend, like, hey, dude, it was very strange. I had this mindset where I was like, no matter what happens, like, I need to get out of here, and I'll be fine no matter what. I got God on my side. I'm a what do you call it? I'm not like super religious, but I do believe in God. But at the time, I was
very religious.
It was like a crazy obsession with God, right? At that time.
dude, like okay, so like, this happens to me. This is why I got this weird ass little look on my face, because I'm like, yeah, I get those aha moments, like, oh, that's why this organically happened, because like I'll literally, I'll let you finish your story, but I'm just sitting here being like, I'm looking at a freaking mirror right now, which is nuts. So continue. I'm just like, because I whatever you keep say, just let you know, whatever you continue to say, I've already understand completely, so keep going. Like, legit.
I knew you were a cool dude.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though. I always tell people is like, because there's a lot of shit in my past I've been through, right? And, you know, I do believe this. Like, the hardest thing you've ever went through is the hardest thing you've ever went through.
Yeah.
And for some people, the hardest thing they've ever went through is getting turned down by a girl in a relationship.
Perception is reality.
Yeah, yeah. Being late and getting rode up at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the... So, like, I always tell people, like, you got to put yourself in certain... I'm not telling people to go get addicted to drugs and alcohol and pop shrooms and have panic attacks. But what I'm saying is the more challenges and things and hardships you put in front of yourself, the better you're going to be as a person. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. No, it's like, So you're... I can see. I know where this is going. Keep going.
Okay, so
keep going.
I tell my friend that no matter what, it's all going to work out. I hadn't slept in days, and I said, I want you to drive me. So I'm in Ohio. I'm like, drive me to Indiana. Oh, yeah. Okay. This will make more sense now. I almost forgot about this part. So I was convinced. So I was talking to my mom. She knew I wasn't in the right state of mind. She's like, you need to like go to a hospital or something, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. You're not going to lock me up. One of those things, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to drive down to talk to you. She lived an hour away. On that drive, I get pulled over. And they think I'm drinking. But I wasn't at the time. I was completely sober. But I was a mess. I remember the cop pulled me over, and I just started bawling my eyes out. Crying. Because I was just an emotional wreck. So the cop thinks I'm drunk. They take me to the station. They're asking me if I'm drunk. I'm like, no. They test me. Everything's fine. And the cops were like, all right, well, you just got reckless ops. I was going maybe 100.
Yeah.
You know? So they're like, we're going to, you know, your car is impounded or whatever. And they were like, they called my mom, and she was like, you need to keep him there. He's not well. And the cops go, well, ma'am, he's fine. Because I was really good at, like, saying, you know what I mean? I was really good in certain situations where I could just, you know, like,
mask
the cops
it.
thought I was.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew something was wrong, but I didn't seem like I was a crazy, dangerous. Not that I was a threat to society, but, like, you know.
You can hide.
So anyways, she tells him to, like, keep me there. She's like, man, we can't do that. Like, he's a grown man. Da-da-da. So I just took off walking from the police station, and I was in Granville, Ohio, which was, I think, it was a good 15, 20-minute drive from where I lived in Newark, and I walked the entire way back from there, so maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Back, all the way back to my apartment, right? And that's when I went into my friend's house, and I got him, and I said, hey, mom's trying to take me to Indiana and drop me off. So he drives me across the border into Indiana, drops me off at a Walmart, and keep in mind at the time, I'm like maybe fresh 19 years old. Maybe, was I still 18? 18? Yeah, I mean, either 18 or just about to turn 19 or early 19 years old. So I didn't know shit. I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to find some trucker, and I'll just go, because my stepbrother lived out in California. And I was like, that's where I need to go. That's like my safe space, you know. That's like, growing up, he was, I didn't have an older brother, but he was like him and my mom, or I'm sorry, him and my stepmom, my dad and my stepmom were together for a shortish period. Actually, it was longer than I give it credit for, probably. But he was so much older that, like, you know, I grew up with him, but then by the time we could really talk man to man, I only had a couple years with him, and then he went off to college, moved to Chicago.
Yeah.
So, always loved him to death. Shout out to Josh. And, you know, I was like, I need to make it out to California. So I had this, like, romantic idea that I was going to hitchhike my way across the U.S. to get to California.
Yeah, the dream.
I remember going up and asking that first truck driver, and he's like, no. For a ride, I mean, couldn't give a fuck, dude. So I'm in this city in Indiana. I have no idea where I'm at. I have no clue. And I'm like, all right, well, I needed internet. We didn't have back then. It was and I was an idiot. I had an iPhone on my mom's plan, and I remember I think I took the SIM card out and like cut it in half with scissors because I didn't want her to track me, or you know what I mean? Yeah. I took the iPhone. I think I sold it for maybe like $100 or something. Yeah. Back then, I can't even remember what I did, but I ended up with a flip phone that I had bought in like one of those prepaid track phone boxes. Right. Yeah. And even back then, the iPhone didn't have good internet on it. No. It wasn't like it is now.
No.
On and like,
not in the States.
Like, well, all you had on the iPhone was that app where you could dump beer out.
Yeah.
And then you had like a lighter you could put on. So I needed internet, and I wanted to get a hold of my stepbrother because I hadn't even talked to him about any of this. So I needed to find a library. So I walked through this town, dude, this small town in Indiana, found a library, got logged in, sent Josh some messages, And then I remember I was like, all right, I need to walk like back. I had nowhere to stay. So like I walked all the way back to where he had dropped me off at, which was at a Walmart. And I walked in. I remember I'm just like completely exhausted at this point. I feel defeated. I've been walking around town all day. My legs hurt. I just want to like lay down. So there was a hotel right next to the Walmart. And then I get in there and like I just start bawling my eyes out to the receptionist lady working at the front desk at the small little hotel. I'm bawling. I'm explaining, and she's like, "What's going on?" She comes talking, and apparently she had been like beaten really bad by her husband or boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah. And
she was like in, I don't know if recovery is the right word, but she was in like a program for that. And he was locked up. So she like really wanted to help me. So she got on her Facebook and got a hold of him, my stepbrother, and was like, "Hey, he's here. He only wants to talk to you." Da da da. So I ended up talking to him. He's like, "All right, man." He's like, "I got you a room for the night there. You go to sleep. I'm gonna hop on a plane. I'll be there tomorrow." So, dude, and this is how little sleep I had, right? You know, they say when you don't sleep for extended periods of time, you start to go like slowly crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I went. So I'm like, okay, like I was convinced people were after me. I was super paranoid.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that.
Yeah.
You know, you hear about that, people get like paranoid schizophrenia, and they think, hey, the world's after them. Dude, I was convinced that like the government was going to show up and just lock me away.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing. So I get back and I get into my hotel room. I remember like I'm in the shower, and it felt really good to like take a shower, and I'm standing in there, and the next thing you know, like all the lights and everything in the the hotel room like just shut off. And I was just like, who knows what that could have been, just a breaker go, you know, anything.
Yeah.
I had to get out and like turn the light back on, like the switch should like shut itself off. I remember I got out, and in my head I'm like, that's another sign from God, or you know, something like that. And I went, and I remember like I walked down the hallway, like looking around, and I'm like, you know, is the SWAT team about to bust in? Like, what's about? Like, I was so fucking paranoid. So I laid down, finally slept, woke up. Stepbrother shows up the next day, and he's like, "Well, do you want to fly back?" I'm like, "I can't fly because the government will arrest me if I fly. My mom will find me." That's what in my head. That's what I thought. So we hopped in a car and drove all the way from Indiana, which is, I mean, on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. Jesus. So you're,
you're
good brother.
Oh yeah, dude, exceptional.
Just cares, you know what I mean? Definitely like
exceptional.
Yeah.
One of the best human beings I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's certain people you meet, like, you know, I mean, I do recommend people, you know, you got to kind of put yourself first in a lot of situations, like, because I think the better you take care of yourself, the better you can take care of everybody around you.
100%.
So you do have to make yourself a priority for sure.
100%.
But someone like Josh is the type of person that will, to his detriment, like, make sure you're better. You know?
We got to touch on that in a minute, but yeah, good shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, this story keeps going. Do you want me to just keep going?
Yo, fucking, you're in California now.
I am in California.
What's going?
It was a little short-lived.
Well, dude, I'll do timestamps. Hey, they can, whatever. We're in California now. I'm tagging along, dude. I'm like, yo, let's go. You're in California, like, dude.
All right.
We're going go ahead.
All right. So at this point, I'm in California. Josh lived.
So you're 19 in California.
19 in California, but coming from where I came from.
Yeah.
I had no big city.
We're in Cali.
Hollywood.
Oh, so we're in LA. Oh shit.
Dude. So he had an apartment on Seward Street. So my stepbrother was big into film and video.
Yeah.
He got a degree from, I think it's UCLA, whatever the Chicago college. I think it's UCLA. But he had a degree in film and video production.
Yeah.
So he was right there in the mix, trying to make it in Hollywood. I think at the time he was working. He was like an assistant on some film crew for a show or a set or something. Yeah. But he lived on Seward Street. I remember Seward, and it was maybe if I walked out the front door of this apartment, it was a 5-minute walk, and I'm on 5-minute walk. I'm on Hollywood Boulevard.
I think I was just staying there a month ago. I was in West Hollywood.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure Seward is exactly where I was actually. I think it was where I was staying. Around that, it's like West Hollywood area.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. So it was it was like a 5-minute walk to Hollywood. You got to keep in mind, man. I'm enamored by because your whole life growing up, you hear about California, you hear about LA, you hear about all this stuff, and it seems so unachievable being just a small kid from Ohio,
and then being there.
Yeah, and then being there, and dude, and just like the culture shock of it all. I mean, dude, where I'm from. 99.9% white, and no other races at all.
Yeah.
I mean that. Like I think growing up we had, if I really think about it, we had Rafael Rosado. I think we had one Hispanic kid. We had Michael Coleman was my black friend. And then we had, who else did we have? Like literally, it was just so. And then you go down, and then you're around people that don't even speak English.
Yeah.
They're speaking Spanish. There's like this cultural. Like,
yeah.
She's completely, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like walking. I remember we landed, and Josh was like, "All right, like if this is gonna work, you need to find a job, right? You need to go put applications in."
Yeah.
And all I wanted to do was walk the streets and meet people and talk to people.
Yeah.
Like that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so it was, because at the time, you know, Josh was trying to be a good brother, and he's like, all right, let me get your head on your shoulders. But I was in no position to go work anywhere.
Yeah.
I was in no position to be responsible. At the time, my brain was still like fried. I was just being you know, and I like to think of it this way too. My mom, amazing mom, but where I'm from, like, I want to say I was young and naive to the world. I think, you know, my mom helped me with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Very responsible woman, very successful woman, works really hard. But it's one of those things, like, if you've never had to, you know, if food's always on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
If your dentist appointment's always made for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you have no, like, you just don't even understand.
Yeah. It's not ready.
Yeah, what real life's about. So
yeah.
I'm out in California for a little bit, and I'm just, like, street walking, going to bed at, like, 4 a.m. I was meeting, like, other people out there that were, like, homeless.
Yeah.
Like, I met this kid, I've talked about this before. I cannot find him anywhere. I've tried Googling him. His name was, he went by his rat name as Raw, and I think it was Anthony. His name was Anthony. I always hope, because the last time I did a podcast and mentioned him, someone commented they thought they knew his real name. It was like Anthony. His name was Anthony, and he went by Raw, and he used to rap, and his sister was in, I think she was in the Cheetah Girls or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So anyway, I meet this kid, and he's, like, homeless too, but we're both, like, in this mindset where we both, like we're just out here, ear to ear smiles, just we're so enamored by it. He had just came from, I think he was in Cali before, but I think he was like inland, like, you know, he wasn't coastal Cali. He was like deep in towards more like, it ain't even the same thing.
Yeah,
you know
yeah, exactly.
So I meet him, and we're just kind of out doing stuff. And then one night we are sitting outside of Amoeba Records, which is a really famous record shop in LA, right? Yeah. I remember I recognized it because when Kesha came out with her album that had that song TikTok on it, like TikTok, you know, that dominated the airwaves. I remember, like, she had posted a video, and it was her walking into Amoeba to buy her record when it came out. And, like, that shit to me was, like, so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sitting out here. So you're going to like this part. So we're sitting outside of Amoeba, just hanging out. There was, like, some windows, and I'm kind of sitting up on this, like ledge, right? And this guy comes up, pulls in, gets out of his car, you know, kind of nods at us, walks inside. A meter maid comes up and tickets his car. So we're like, oh, shit, you know? And then the guy comes back out. I was like, hey, man, like, they got your car, dude. And he's like, son of a bitch. You know, then we start talking. And he's like, what are you doing here? What's your story? And I kind of just open book. I'm like, you know, I'm here, you know, I'm just trying to figure stuff out. Just moved here from here. He's like, huh? He's like, well, what are you doing right now? I was like, nothing. He's like, you want to go see what LA's all about? Like, sure. So me and Anthony hop in the car with this guy, and he takes us down to this, like, hookah bar. Takes us in. He's buying us drinks. You know, there's, like, hookah. He's buying us different stuff. And I was like, he kept having to, like, dip out and, like, take these, like, phone calls. Then he'd come back. And, you know, we did that. And then I got his number. And he was like, hey, man, like, you're pretty cool. Like, hit me up. We'll hang out again. All right.
Yeah.
So go back home, go to sleep, whatever. Next day, I wake up, and he hits me up, and he's like, hey, like, don't bring Anthony this time, but if you want to do something, let me know.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So he comes through, picks me up, takes me down to, what's that, Santa Monica Pier? Yeah, Santa Monica Pier has so he takes me down to Santa Monica Pier, shows me that, drives me down into Compton, shows me that.
Yeah.
It's like showing me all this shit, right? And the whole time, we're in the car one time. He'd been taking these weird little phone calls, right? And then he decides to, one time we're driving, he's like, hey, I'm going to take this phone call. I'll explain afterwards. Gets on the phone, and he starts talking like a girl. Like, it'll be all right, sweetie. Okay, yeah, don't you worry about it. I got it. Hangs up, okay? So I'm like, what is that? come to find out, listen to this shit. So this is one thing that completely like made me realize that like the world isn't always as it seems.
Yeah.
And that people are making money in different ways you could never possibly imagine.
Yeah.
The dude was a pimp, okay? But the way that he ran his hustle was that he would get on backpages.com or Craigslist, you know, right? Place his ads in there for the girls, whatever. And then the girls he met didn't know him to be the pimp. It was some other lady. He had this fake profile, fake social media set up for this woman. And he would interact with them that way. And when he would speak to them, he would change his voice like he was the girl. But they never met. He did everything. He would get girls because it's close to Vegas. He would find girls, come out, put them up in hotel rooms. And then he would do all the backpages.com stuff and handle the guys on one end. And when he had to pick up money, he would go in himself as like the bouncer. I mean, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
He would go in himself as like the bouncer to get the money, whatever. And then the girl was the one that facilitated everything. But It was him the whole time.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, that's some LA shit.
Yeah. So he tells me this, and I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, do you wanna fuck one of them? I was like, sure. So he goes, listen to this. Takes me to, I forget what the hotel was, but like right in the heart of Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
So he drives me up to this hotel. He makes this call to this girl. He goes, like, hey, sweetie, I'm going to send you another guy coming up. He's only going to be for half the time, and he's not going to have any money, but I'll just hook you up on the back end. I'm like, this one's going to be more of a treat than what you're normally used to. And I was like, so I'm thinking in my head, like, these got to be just like these big, sweaty businessmen. And at the time, I was just some skinny 19-year-old, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid.
Wow.
You know, so I walk up. So he's like, all right, like, go up to the X floor, right, and go to this room. So remember, like, I get out of the car, and I'm just, like, nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I going to get busted? What's going on? Whatever. So I get on the elevator, go up, get out on the floor. The room just so happened to be, like, right across from the elevator. So
Yeah.
I walk up to the door. I go to knock, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't go in here. Like, I'm terrified. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to get in trouble. Like, what is this? I had no idea.
Yeah.
So I go to knock, and I decide not to. I turn around to walk away. Door opens, and it's this woman in lingerie, beautiful Brazilian woman in, like, lingerie. Like, hey, what's going on? And, like, oh, hey, what's up? I go into the room. Dude, I mean, I won't get too graphic for the podcast, but it was insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. And then I went back down. I remember just like had this big smile on my face, like I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
And then so that was one of that dude. We still talk a little bit here and there, but
wow.
I need to go back out there and actually sit down and have dinner with him and be like, dude, remember that shit?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm having all this fun in LA, but me and my stepbrother had gotten into a little argument because I'm not trying to find a job.
Yeah.
I'm going out. I'm coming home at 5 a.m. I'm sleeping on his couch while we're trying to, like, you know, I'm sleeping at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm waking up at 9. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We were clashing. I got upset, and I was like, fine, like, I'm just going to go. So I packed all my stuff up and left. Hit up the pimp dude. He got me a hotel room that he just paid for that I was staying in.
Yeah.
And I was doing that for maybe we did that for maybe like 3 or 4 days. Then I met these other people that were like, you know, because like when I say I was like homeless in LA, I never had to stay on the streets. I always found somebody to let me stay somewhere.
Coach surfer.
There we go.
Coach surfer for life. Yeah.
Which is not it's not a what do you call it? I mean, it's fun for a minute, but it gets really old not having.
I get the reason why I say couch surfer. My buddy used to be like, you're in the CFL or whatever, the CSFL, couch surfer for life. I used to live in Whistler, BC, and I'd have a home, so I would couch surf. I would couch surf at someone's house, and then I'd be into someone's trailer that doesn't work, with like a heater that's all yelled. I had a dog that, you know, I couldn't feed. You know what I'm saying? And I was on a couch. So I get that. Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I found these other people when I was kind of couch surfing, moving around. But I just remember like one day I woke up and I was just like, it all kind of just hit me. I'm like, I need to go home. like I think I kind of like it started kind of snap back to reality a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get, so like, I call my mom, and I called her and I was crying. I'm like, Mom, I just need to come home. She's like, well, she's like, I'll get you a ticket. Da-da-da. She's like, when you come back here, she's like, I don't want to see you right away. She's like, I'll have your dad come get you, you know, but I'll get you back here. So came back. You got to think, man, I was in college. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
So they thought, you know what I mean? And then I drop out, get rid of all my shit that my mom paid for.
Yeah.
I had all this furniture, apartment.
Yeah.
It was awful. And then I'm like an embarrassment, all that shit.
Yeah.
So I come back. I have nothing. I got to go stay with my dad. And I just remember like coming back and having this like ball of like shame and guilt and like I fucked up and I was a joke and all like just deep in me. Terrible feeling, terrible feeling. Like I was, my sister's off in college. My brother works for the family. And, I'm just this, this fuck up that lost his mind, went to LA, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
So I come back and then my mom's like, all right, like, we eventually came around, started talking again. And she's like, all right, well, you need to get back in school. Is what you need to do. So I joined this little community college, and I tried that for a little bit, and I just realized that like this is awful.
Not for me.
I despise college.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. That's where I was at in my head. So remember my first like grades came around, and I was talking to my mom, and I was like, hey, like I'm not gonna pass. Like, what should I do? She's like, if you're not gonna do this, you need to get a job. I was like, cool. So I went, dropped out of college, and I went and was trying to apply at places, but at the time, I still remember like my sleep schedule was so messed up just from being I just wasn't. Have you ever had a point in your life where you're like going to bed at like 3 a.m.? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're waking up at, you know what I mean? Just ass backwards.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I had an interview at Finish Line, and had to go in there. And I remember like the interview was at like 9 a.m. and I hadn't even went to bed.
Yeah.
So I go in there like exhausted, tired. She's asking me questions like, so what are the jobs, what's your prior job? And I literally couldn't even answer them. I was so brain dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, wow, couldn't get that job. So at the end of the job I ended up with was I worked at a gas station as behind the counter.
Yeah.
So So I'm in there doing that job, doing pretty good at it. Because here was the thing, like going in there, like I would consider myself. I'm not saying that like I'm super intelligent, but I pick things up quick.
Yeah.
And when I care about something, I'm usually pretty good at it. So I'm working there for a little bit, and they were trying to. I remember it was only a little bit of time, and they were like trying to promote me to a manager and do all this stuff. Like, want to start training me. I was like, look, guys, like I'm just kind of working. Like I'm not trying to do this, all the time or whatever. But I appreciate the offer. But while we were there, I was there was like one of the tasks of the job was that you had to upsell when people came in.
Yeah.
So like if someone came in and they buy one Kit Kat bar, it would be 1 for $1.79 or 2 for $3, right?
Yeah.
There were signs posted everywhere. If you bought this, you could upsell this. So one of the things you always had to do that they trained you to do was to upsell anybody that ever came in.
Yeah.
So I got mystery shopped one day by like a guy comes in and just doing it, and I did my job, whatever, and I got like 100% on like the mystery shopping store, whatever. Yeah. And there's actually a funny story about that. That's when I started shaving my head, because back then, so I shaved my head, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, right? So back then, man, I started going bald when I was a junior in high school.
Yeah.
I started losing my hair. So there was a point where I would just take clippers and just buzz it down.
Yeah.
And just kept it really short, right? And I was convinced in my head, like, you're not bald, dude. That's just, you should keep short hair. So this is a great look.
Yeah.
Convinced in my brain, the picture I had of myself was just this full head of hair, but it was just really short. I got mystery shopped, and I'm looking at this video footage. And they're like, do you remember who it was? I'm like, I have no idea. They're like, all right, look at the video footage. And it was the top down behind gas station camera.
Yeah.
Dude, from that angle, it just looked like I had no hair at all. And I just looked like I just had a bald head. I remember I went home that night and shaved my head with a razor. Haven't had hair since. So anyways, I don't know why we went on that topic. But so I'm working at the gas station. And then one day this guy comes in and I'm upselling him, just doing one normal thing. Kind of looks at me and he goes, do you like working here? I was like, yeah, it ain't bad. And he's like, I work down the street at the Radio Shack.
Yeah.
He's like, if you want to come in here and, he's like, we do cell phone, Radio Shack is now, I think they're completely out of business.
Yeah. Right. That's old school, man. Nostalgia. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
But back then, Radio Shack was in my city, Radio Shack had...
It was the Best Buy. Radio Shack was Best Buy. It was like the thing you get all your electronics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they had, and their phone department was killer.
Yeah, always.
So... He's like, you come down, you work at Radio Shack. He's like, your base pay will be what you're making here, but you're going to get commission on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, more money. Cool. So I go down there, and I get really into, like, the commission and the cell phones and stuff. But the problem is that while I was at the gas station, so when you work at a gas station like that, and you're working, like, the night shifts and stuff, the people that come in are of, like, a certain... variety, right? Yeah. So where I'm from, there's a lot of problems with drugs, heroin, pain pills, things like that. So one of my old friend, I don't even call him an old friend from high school. Someone I knew from high school that like maybe we had a couple classes together and kind of knew each other. Because when I moved back from Cali, my mom was like, "Look, like you're back from Cali. I don't want you in our hometown because you're gonna be back with the same people with the same problems that happen. So I'm gonna move you to Lancaster, which is, 20, 25 minutes up the street.
Yeah.
So whole different city. So I'm in this city, once again, don't know anybody. I'm just like working, going home, being by myself. But at this time I'm sober. But I was in the gas station that one day working, and this guy came in I knew. It was like maybe like 9 o'clock at night. Name was Chris. And he comes in and he's like, hey, what's going on, man? I didn't know you worked here. And we're kind of BSing. And he's like, well, I'm having a party tonight. When you get off work, if you want to come over, let me know. And I'm like, yes. Yeah. People, a party.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So I show up to this party, and I realize real quick, like I'm thinking everybody's going to be drinking, whatever. Like, no one's drinking. Everybody's doing pain pills.
Yeah.
Percocets, taking Perc 30s. These, whether you got a V cut, an A cut, or an M stamp. There's like 3 different types. I remember this perfectly. And they would just break them up, roll up a $1 bill, boom, blow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember like, and I used to mess with these back in the day, but I never really had a problem. It was just like one of those things like I might get a few, do them, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it just wasn't. I think doing them in general is a problem, but I'm just saying like it wasn't like.
It wasn't taking over.
I just didn't think about it. But I was one of those people, if it was in front of me, I was just going to do it.
Yeah. It was not you. Yeah.
Yeah. So. He's like, hey, I'll split one with you. You got $15, $10, whatever it was back then. I was like, sure. Did it, and it was the best I'd ever felt in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, coming off of, coming back from Cali, hating myself, thinking I fucked up, hoping when I met people they had no idea what I just went through.
Yeah.
My friend Don, just all this stuff, right? I took this pill, and it solved every problem I'd ever had.
Yeah.
I was confident. I was happy. I felt good. So... Come to find out, I didn't realize it at the time. My buddy Chris was a full-blown addict, completely full-blown pillhead. I mean, completely. You just don't think about it in the moment. But I remember like, so I wake up the next day, and I'm like, wow, last night was a blast. Hey Chris, can you get more of those pills?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I need a pill every day.
Yeah.
At least one. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to work, okay, I'm taking 30 with me. I'm gonna do half of it when I get there. Do the other half 4 hours later.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
Then it got to where I needed 2 a day.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 a day. And these pills started when I started. If you could get them for $20 a pill when I started, that was a hell of a deal. But by the end, they became like $30 and $35 a pill.
Yeah.
So it was an expensive habit.
Yeah.
So I got this like, I'm doing these pills. And then the weirdest part is like when you're in it, I think people look at drug addiction. I mean, obviously drug addiction is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But people look at it as if it's always grimy, it's always stealing, it's always, you know what I mean? But like for me, I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
I was working. I was very good at my job.
Yeah.
But I was a functioning pillhead.
Yeah.
Like, I never had to steal from anybody. I never had to, like if I needed money, I would go pawn my own shit.
Yeah.
Get money, and then when I got paid, go get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a vicious cycle. So doing these pills and everything. I'm working at Radio Shack. I'm loving that job. I decided to go try to get hired at Sprint, which was a cell phone company down the street. I heard the commissions were better. Had a buddy that worked over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at this time maybe I'm 20. Was I 21 yet? I don't even think I was 21 yet. I might have just been 20. So I was like, all right, if I go work at Sprint, I'm gonna get more money. it's a better job title, all that stuff. So start working over at Sprint selling cell phones, and I'm like, I won Salesman of the Year. Now plaques still in this house somewhere. I'd have to find them. They're probably still in moving boxes.
Yeah.
But I was like really good at my job, but I was completely just fucked up the entire time.
Yeah.
So my life kind of revolved around like, all right, do a pill, go into work. I'm in the best mood in the world. I have no pain. I'm happy. I'm just selling everything to everybody because I'm just such a nice, friendly guy.
Yeah.
And then you would counteract that with like days where like I'm withdrawing and I feel like absolute garbage. I mean, if nobody has ever experienced what like an opiate withdrawal feels like, it is one of the most miserable things in the entire world.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's hard to explain to people that have never had it because people are like, what is quit? What is quit? But imagine when you've had a flu and it's like the worst flu you've ever had. Nose running, you're freezing, you always have to have a blanket on you, your whole body aches, you got the shivers and the chills. When you're on pills for, I think I was on them for maybe, I'd have to, the exact maths, I'm not sure, but easily a year and a half, 2 years. When you're on them for that long, consistently every day at high doses, coming off is nightmarish.
Yeah, yeah.
Nightmarish. So I would counteract that by finding, there was like, so when you're in the pill world and you're in this drug world, you find yourself like you're going to these houses to buy them and you're rubbing shoulders with people that are doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
And the majority of those people don't have jobs.
Yeah.
The majority of those people are like, it's not good people.
Yeah.
Like I look back at all those people I was around, most of them are either dead or in jail.
Yeah.
I don't know any of them if I look back. So my friend Chris, they got me into this. The guy that came into the gas station that I met that came back home, he's not even alive. Wow. He overdosed.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I can think right now, not many of them are around. But when you're doing these types of things and you're around these types of people, you're just, the people that you're rubbing shoulders with and associating with are just not ideal people, nor are they people that you should trust with anything. So during this time, my apartment got broken into because I would like, you're just kind of doing stuff. And like, I've always been the type of guy that gives everybody like, I try to see the good in people.
Yeah.
And I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm way too trusting. And that's fucked me in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I got here, so I don't like to look at things like that. But like, I've helped a lot of people out that at the first second that they could just turn on me, they did, and kind of use you for what they can, and then they dip out. And being around these types of people, like, hey, come back to my apartment, we'll hang out. And then, I go to work one day, come back, and my window's open, my Xbox is gone, all my stuff's gone, my clothes are gone. Yeah. Like, stealing in and... Yeah. So, I'm at Sprint, full-blown drug addiction. These people that like... this is the point I was getting to. There were some people I met that when you're coming off of pain pills, right? They give you a thing called Suboxone. Yeah. Which I think hits the same receptor, but it basically like keeps the withdrawals at bay. Yeah. But it's also a drug too, though. The thing is, like, you get fucked up on Suboxone. So what I would do is I was at this point where I was buying, let's say if I had, because I would get these commission checks from Sprint. If I got $2,000 in a commission check, like 1,500 of that. I mean, after rent, everything's gone. Like 1,500 of that goes to pills. Maybe I could get, 50, 40 pills, and then I would know that, okay, that's only going to last you X amount of days. So then I would go to my other guy and buy Suboxone. Wow. So I knew that, like, when I got done and then waiting on my next commission check, I would, like, take a Suboxone.
Yeah, plan right out. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So one of those nights that I was going, I had just gotten my pills, but this wasn't one where I had, like, 50. This was one of those ones where I think I scraped together a little bit of money, and I knew that I could get, like, 3 or 4. And then I knew, though, that it was going to be, like, another week or so before I got paid. So I was like, I'm going to get these pills. I'm going to go get the Suboxone. Then I know my next couple of days will be pretty good. And then I'll have Suboxone for the rest. I'll be fine until I get paid. One of them. So I'm driving to meet my dude. I pulled into this trailer park where he lived. And there was and I pulled in because, like, you can pull into the front. There's, like, the main office. There's, like, a map of where the whole place is at. And then it kind of goes back into, like, the whole trailer park complex. So he rides up on a bike, comes to my car, hands me the stuff, dips. So I'm sitting there like a fiend. Instead of me going, all right, let me get out of here, I go, let me pull out my Carter 3 Lil Wayne CD that's in the glove box and break a pill up on it and do it before I start driving back home, right? I'm in the middle of breaking this pill up. I look to my left. police officer cruising by really slow. I'm like, shit, I gotta get out of here. So he kind of drives up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pull it, like, I'm just gonna get out of here. So I kind of sit everything on my passenger seat. I go to leave, cops behind me. I'm like, shit. So I pull onto like the main highway, cops behind me. I'm like, shit, lights, boom. I'm getting pulled over. I got pills on me. I got Suboxone on me. I got a broken up pill all over my seat in the CD case. So I swallow everything away, do everything I can. Cop pulls me over. He goes, what are you doing over there? And dude, I was like, this was my excuse. I was like, I was looking at that map because a friend wanted to play pickup basketball, and I know there's a basketball court back there. And I was just trying to see where it was at. And he's like, yeah, that's fucking bullshit. He's like, get out of the car. So gets me out of the car, and he's like, have you been doing drugs or anything? I was like, no, sir. No, sir. And then he's like, yeah, okay. He's like, I'm going to search your car. So he goes around to my passenger. He's like, looking through my car, gets the passenger seat, finds the white powder. And he comes and he goes, you want to tell me what this is? And I'm like, it's creatine. I lied to him and told him it was creatine or something. Because at the time I wasn't even like a gym person, but I just had I think I would go for like a week and I bought all these supplements literally in my car. I was like, it's creatine. He's like, bullshit, don't believe you, whatever. So he's like, I'm going to test it. And if you're not honest with me, I'm taking you to jail. And I was like, I test it. And then so he's going back. So I'm standing with, there was 2 cop cars. I'm standing with one officer who was also a customer at Sprint that I sold cell phones to. Yeah. And I'm still in my work uniform because I had left work to go do this, right? I'm like, shit. So I'm standing there. He's like testing my seat, the stuff on it, looks at it, comes back at it, tests it, and he goes, you're free to go, but I never want to see you around here again. So the test came back negative somehow. Yeah. Somehow. So I'm driving home. I'm having this reality check. I'm like, holy shit. Each Percocet's a felony. Yeah. You get caught. And then I'm not sure what Suboxone is, but it might be in the same category. So I'm charging. So I remember back in my home, back where I'm from, I mean, I'm not sure what the exact law is, but the way everybody I was around talked about it was like, for every pill you get caught with, each one's a felony. Is the way they made it sound. Because this was back when, not being from the U.S., what they called it heroin highway. But in Ohio, there was a highway that ran all the way from Ohio down to Florida. Yeah, right? Yeah. Down in Florida, the way the laws worked, they had these pain centers down there, which were basically anybody could go in off the street. Oh, I hurt. I don't feel good. Okay, here's a prescription for 30 perk 30s. Yeah. Right? And these doctors are making money. Everybody's making, it was just like, it's like a hustle. So these people would go all the way down to Florida and do these trips, load up, hit every pain center they could, get 8, 9 prescriptions, drive back with fucking all the shit. Yeah. Yeah, so I think they were cracking down because the amount of overdoses, the amount of everything in my city was super, super terrible. So anyways, I'm driving home, and I know that I swallowed all this shit. It was the worst way to do it because, if I just swallowed perks, at least I'd have a good buzz. I'd feel good, right? But I took the Suboxone and the perks at the same time. So the Suboxone cancels out the feeling of opiates and makes them not work. Yeah. And these two were fighting, so I felt like trash. Yeah. Absolute trash. So on the way back, I'm like, okay, I need to quit. This is not good. Yeah. Spending lots of money. I almost just got, because I'm thinking, because, you're just kind of going business as usual. You're going to work. My girlfriend was at home at the time, my high school sweetheart, waiting on me. Yeah. I've been lying to her. Dude, the amount of lies you would tell just to hey, I'm going to run to Walmart real quick and go buy a new video game. Boom, I'm gone for 2 hours going to get pills and shit. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So I had this thing where man, if I would have just gotten arrested in felonies, mom would have been disappointed. I lost this amazing job that I have, that I love. Life is finally, whatever. I'm like, I need to quit. So literally left that cop stop, went to another person's house, got more Suboxone, went home. And I was like, I'm going to wean myself off of this shit. So I go in and I would buy, I found that girl that was not subscribed, prescribed. Yeah. And she would get they were called Suboxone strips. So yeah. It was you ever had a Listerine strip? Yeah, yeah. Imagine that, but it's orange. Yeah. Suboxone strip. If there's anybody listening to this that's ever been into this world of drugs, they're like, this guy knows his stuff. Yeah. This is all if you don't know this shit, if you know it, you know it. Yeah, yeah. So I would buy these Suboxone strips off of her and would take them, and it started I would do a strip a day. Boom, boom, to wean myself off. Then I would go to half a strip, then a quarter, to the point where I did this I think I was on Suboxone by myself for 9 maybe like 9-ish months to a year. Yeah, because so I got to Suboxone. I slowly started to wean myself off, and while I was doing this, I obviously wasn't going to buy pills. I didn't want to hang out with any of the pill people, do anything like that. So at the time, it just so happened I got really into an MMO RPG. You know what an MMO RPG is?
Nope.
Okay. Massive multiplayer online role-playing game.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I got into one called Star Wars: The Old Republic. So my life went from go to work, do my thing, go get pills, be around people, do all that, to like literally go to work. As soon as I get off, run, grab some bullshit food, drive home, log into that game, play that game till 2 a.m., sleep, wake up at 8.
Do it again.
Rinse, repeat. Completely and utterly addicted to this game. Because I remember like coming off, it was super weird because I'm like coming off of these pills, I'm on these Suboxones, and I'm just like, but Suboxone too is also a drug. That's what no one tells you. They're like, you take the Suboxones to get off the pills. But Suboxone is just the same thing, but it's just a different drug.
Yeah.
You still withdraw off of them.
Yeah.
It's still terrible. So like I still needed them. I'm still fiending for these things. So I'm playing this game, completely addicted to it. My relationship's falling apart. My girlfriend comes to me one day, and she's like, "Look, like this isn't working out. Like, I mean, she had tried for months. Like, you don't spend enough time with me. You're literally addicted to this game. You care more about them than you do me. These people, this game, all that shit." And so she ended up like leaving me and moving out. Like my high school sweetheart that I was with from I was a sophomore in high school. You know, we obviously were on and off a little bit. Like, you know, when I was in California and things were a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like she was always one phone call away.
Yeah,
like,
that one, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but we had our little things where like, you know, but when I moved back, we'd gotten back together. And she left me completely. So then I remember like I'm sitting there, I'm on these Suboxones and shit, and I'm like, she's gone. And at first, I wasn't even that upset because I was like, well, now I can really just have me in the game.
Yeah.
Right? So I sit down to play this game. I remember like sitting there, it just didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I don't have anything anymore. Like, my girlfriend's gone. Like, I'm spending all my money on drugs. Like, I've been sitting in this room for this past year playing this game that, like, really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's fun. I'm getting enjoyment out of it. But, like, I was putting everything into this game. Like, I wanted to be the highest level. I wanted to have the best equipment. I wanted to have the nicest car. Like, anybody that's ever played an MMO, it's, when you get into them, you really get into them.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm doing this game, doing these drugs, and I'm completely neglecting myself. Like, I was never, like, the most athletic person by any means, like, growing up. You know, I played, like, football in high school and stuff, but I was always more of, like, a class clown, like, jokester. I never took things super serious. But I was never in, like, amazing shape with amazing genetics, but I was never, like, I was always kind of skinny fat, right?
Yeah.
But at this point, I had ballooned up. I mean, right now I weigh 190 pounds.
Yeah.
And like, that's with way more
How tall are you?
5'10".
Okay, so yeah, you're pretty taller than I am. There you go.
Yeah. How tall are you?
5'7", almost 5'8".
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe bodybuilders are.
Yeah, man,
you never know. You never know watching.
We're all short. We're all short.
Yeah.
For the most part, most of them are short. Like, you're not short meaning like, you know, 5.
Yeah.
You know, 5'10" is a tall bodybuilder.
Well, I might trade a few inches of height for that type of width.
Give me. I'll take 5. I'll give you 5 pounds. You give me an inch.
Okay. I would if I held it in my chest. You know, if I could just like inject it into my chest and maybe at the rear delt, I might.
I got 5. I got 5 pounds. I can literally give you. I don't need them anymore.
I have an inch.
I need it. I can go weird ways. Yeah. So, so yeah, man. So you're this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Video games, MMO, SWTOR, girlfriend leaves me. So I decide at that point, I'm like, all right, like what I'm doing is like just this isn't. I don't know. I just woke up and I was like, I was at the time maybe 21, 20, 22, maybe 22 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you've been like wasting away doing this. Like, dude, I remember. So I'll look back at like, dude, I wasn't on social media at the time. Like, I remember there was like a few Facebook posts I'd make and I read them and they're just all about this game. I was obsessed. Like, I just knew in my head, I'm like, I'm single. I'm now 22. At this point, I don't think I'd ever even legally been out to a bar.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just like stuck in this room playing this game high on Suboxone. So I'm like, all right, you're going to quit everything. So I remember it was close to Christmas. I want to say it was, like December. Yes, okay, it was January, I think. Early January, I was like, yeah, I'm quitting. So I didn't buy any more Suboxone. I had one final Suboxone strip left, and I cut it down into the tiniest mutant slivers to like wean myself off and taper it down. And then I remember the first full day without them was awful. Whatever the Percocet like withdrawals I went through, the opiate withdrawals, like this Suboxone was way worse.
Wow.
Way worse. Wow. Which is why I was convinced, like, no wonder no one quits this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I remember going to work and I'm sitting in there like short sleeve shirt, khaki pants, polo. I'm sitting there, sunny, beautiful day out, and just freezing.
Yeah.
Miserable. Like it took everything I had to have the energy to like get up out of a chair. The idea of standing up. You ever been when you obviously know when you're cutting down like extremely for a competition and you just the act of getting up and walking across the room seems like such a that's how it was. So I remember it was like 30 days until I felt normal. It was like 4 weeks until I felt normal again. That first week was terrible. Second week was better. Third week got a little better. And I remember like in the middle of it, like they say it like when you're withdrawing, your immune system goes to shit. So I got really sick in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And I was like having to take cough syrup. And I remember I was taking so many 5-hour energies just trying to like give myself energy to get through my job. But on the other end of that, it was 30 days. And I was off of everything. I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. This feels good. But now I'm looking around. I'm off of everything. I don't want to play this game anymore because like the game almost lost its charm too without a buzz.
Yeah. You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like no girlfriend. I was like, man, like what do I do? And then my brother had just somehow texted me. He was in the gym. He's like, hey, you want to lift? You know, go back to the gym. And I remember, and I was like, sure. I remember getting on Facebook and like leaving a post like, because it was February 1st was the exact day I went back in the gym. I remember making a post on Facebook that was like, I'm starting my New Year's resolution 1 month late.
Yeah,
cool. You know, so I went to the gym. And I remember going in there, and when I came off of everything, I was like really chubby, and my arms, dude, were sticks. I mean, I'd been sitting and playing a video game and doing a physical labor job. And was doing no exercise. And eating. My diet was mainly pizza and subs from the pizza shop next door, because it was easy and quick, and they drop it off on the front. You know what I mean? You have to cook like Funyuns. Dude, I would go to Circle K gas station. I would get the big gulp, 44 ounce, full sugar Mountain Dew. You know, just complete trash. So I start lifting, and I remember, dude, it was like maybe even like a month in there, and it was like night and day. I was a different person. Like shoulder, like everything, because like muscle memory and everything. Like, not that I was ever big into lifting before that, but like in high school we'd have weight training classes and stuff, you know. It just like completely changed. And from that point on, that's when I got really hooked on fitness. Fitness became my new addiction. And even to this day, dude, I'm like, you know, I do 40 minutes of cardio every single day, and I haven't missed a day. Other than a couple vacations I've taken where I've let myself have it, like, and if I don't do it, I feel like shit. Like, mentally, not even the body, just like mentally, because I'm just like so addicted to it. But fitness became the new addiction, and I remember it was one of those things where like, you know, you're lifting for like a month, you know, and you're already feeling better, you're buying some new clothes, then a couple months go by, and you're like, wow, like, and then you're going out to bars. I'm like now single. I got this new lease on life. I've never been out drinking in public. I'm in a new city with people I don't know. Like, so it became like I'm in love with fitness. So my whole life became, you know, Googling it. How do I, you know, chicken, rice, and broccoli? Okay. How do I get abs? Okay. And I remember the first time I made myself a meal plan, I got on, did the research. Because, dude, it's so easy with what we do to get to this point. You ever talk to someone, obviously, but you ever talk to someone that like doesn't, like, they just have zero understanding of what even a good diet looks like?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, talking to them,
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
Well, they'll be like I've literally been having conversations with people like, I'm currently doing keto as they're eating a potato chip. You know what I mean? That type of shit. So I feel like everybody's that, you know, and like my whole life, the only diet advice, or I should say direction I had would be from my parents. And my mom's whole thing was like, well, you know, just take the top bun off of the sandwich. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit.
Reduce the calories by a little bit.
Or, you know, just drink the diet soda over the regular, but order everything else the same. Like, you know, don't put too much salt on your fries because you'll gain weight. You know, that type of shit. No one really knows.
Yeah.
You know? So once I actually researched it and I broke down, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, okay. So each egg has 5 grams of fat, maybe 0.3 gram of carbs, and 6 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Okay. And that equals how many calories? 6. Oh, okay. So how much do I need? Okay. And then I remember I built this meal plan out, and it was basic as hell. I think it was like 4 eggs for breakfast, some egg whites, oatmeal, spinach, and then like protein shake.
Yeah.
224 grams cooked chicken breast, 100 grams white rice, and broccoli. Like,
the basics.
Yeah. Before bed, 32 grams of peanut butter.
Got to get that in you. Slow release.
Dude, I remember I did that for like a week.
Yeah.
And I remember like my whole life I never had abs.
Yeah.
Ever. Like I think, I had abs maybe when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Real little at the pool when everybody has abs.
Yeah.
Maybe not so common these days.
Yeah.
But I remember like I did that for a week and I could start seeing my abs. And I was like, holy shit, I've discovered the secret. I wanted abs my whole life.
Yeah.
You could never figure it out. I mean, being someone, I grew up, dude, Dragon Ball Z was like my favorite thing in the world. And everybody's jacked.
Yeah.
Huge. And, like, I've always wanted abs. You're watching those commercials as a kid where like, whether it was Nickelodeon or MTV, whatever it was, whatever age you were, like the guy that had his shirt off with the abs is what you wanted.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I don't want to be this sloppy piece of shit. I want that.
Yeah.
I remember I started seeing those abs, and that's when I really was like, wow, like this really does come down to what you eat.
Yeah.
Like everybody says that diet's important, but like if you really do the math and break it down and you hit like the right calorie goal and you do this right, you can transform your body.
Yeah.
And that was insane. So now like I'm really into fitness, but now like people that have known me for a while, or now I'm like, look at this. I'm posting on Instagram. How'd Remington get abs? Because there was a bunch of big bodybuilders around me.
Yeah.
No one was like a shredded competing bodybuilder. Everybody was just big and jacked. Take a lot of steroids. Eat as much as you could. Fried chicken, cheesy fries, bacon, whatever, and just get jacked. But no one was lean. So like I cornered this market where like in my city I'm like, here's how you get abs. And people were like starting to hit me up like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'll make you a meal plan for free. And I'm just making people free meal plans. Terrible
business model, man.
That was back before I even knew you could charge for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like, I was just so excited, So I'm posting and, I'm giving diets to people and they're like seeing results. I'm getting lean. I decided to do like this modeling, like shoot or whatever.
Yeah.
I do it. I do my own prep, like everything myself.
Yeah.
I got like shredded. The first time I've ever actually been like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I do that modeling thing or whatever. And then I'm like, all right, like I'm on Instagram, and I'm trying to like build up this Instagram. And I remember I came across Joseph Rakic. You know who that is?
No, I don't. No.
All right, he's a dude from I don't want to butcher this, New Zealand, I believe.
Joe Rakic.
New Zealand, but he has I think maybe the world's largest online coaching business.
Yeah.
He was a pioneer back then. I remember like I followed him. I was like, all right, dude's shredded. He's always advertising these plans or whatever. Didn't think anything of it until he posted a picture, and he was of his Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, Lamborghini, coaching plans. You can be successful doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was like got my gears turning. I'm like, I can sell these plans.
Yeah.
Like, I can be an online coach.
Yeah.
So
well, you're
I built out this website.
How old are you now?
31.
No, I mean like in this story.
I'm 20, probably 3, 4.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 23 or 4.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing YouTube now I started YouTube I think when I was 25. So I've been YouTube like 6 years. Yeah. So it's probably like 24.
Okay. Cool. Probably. Yeah. Dope. Okay.
So I'm seeing like so I decided to no idea what I'm doing. Right. This is why I always stress like. If you have an idea or something you want to do, like you have to just start doing it no matter how janky and goofy it is in the beginning, so you'll eventually figure it out.
Yeah.
So I needed to find a way like, okay, if this is going to be online, right, I need to have a way for people to pay. I have no idea how that works. I don't know how to set up a website. I have no idea. But what I'm going to do is I bought RemingtonJamesFitness.com, the domain, like Googling it. Okay, $8. Thank you. Host it for 20 for 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got it. Now, when it comes to the actual website portion, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I got on Fiverr, and I found someone to make me a landing page.
Yeah.
So it was just one page that described 3 different plans: meal plan, training plan, 12-week program, with a PayPal buy button below each one.
Yeah.
I linked that to a PayPal, and that's all I had was a landing page.
Nice.
Like, all right. So local people, when they'd hit me up, I'd be like, hey, go to my website. They would sign up. It was pretty cool. not super lucrative by any means, but when I'm used to working at Sprint, doing
40 hours,
getting a certain paycheck, hours, to just have extra money that like you generate on your own.
Yeah,
that's an intoxicating drug when that starts happening.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that starts happening, and then I'm like, all right, this is really cool, but what I want to do is at the time my whole idea was I want to grow my Instagram. I wasn't a YouTube watcher. I had no idea fitness was on YouTube. I just really didn't know. And even back then, it wasn't. I mean, it's definitely saturated now. There's a lot more people doing it.
Yeah.
But back then, it was kind of like the Wild West.
Yeah.
You had like, you had like some people that did it, but it wasn't.
You know about.
No.
Yeah.
No one in my city was a YouTuber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had no one to look at for guidance or anything. But I wanted to grow my Instagram. That was the goal. So like, I bought a little tripod for my phone. I would take like these little staged pictures. I just remember getting comments like, "Who took the picture?" From people that were just like trying to figure out how I even happened.
Whoa.
A tripod and a remote and a timer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so we started posting, and I thought like, okay, if I want to make this legitimate, because Joseph Rakic was Instagram. He wasn't YouTube. I'm trying to follow his lead. So I'm like, okay, like I need to grow my Instagram. So I was like, but what'll help is if I have a YouTube channel too, and I just make a few videos. That way, like it'll just legitimize me if people want to see who I am as a person, right?
Yeah.
Like see me talk, see me move, see that I'm a human being. So I started. Started making YouTube videos. And I found this like, I skipped this part. Okay, so what got the YouTube idea rolling that it was possible was that I was in town and these guys invited me over. They said, "Hey, we're doing a fitness photo shoot or a fitness video at the gym. Do you want to be a part of it?" And I was like,
"Which one?"
Hell yeah.
I'm online right now. Which one is it? I got you. I mean,
is it the old video?
I went the oldest first. Hold on, let me.
It might be hidden. I could probably unhide it for you. Oh yeah, basic bodybuilding shoulder routine. That was the first one I ever did.
Yeah.
That was the first video I ever did. Yeah, pull that sucker up, dude. I've got to be so nervous.
Remington James fitness. Remington.
All right, here we go. I'm in front of a whiteboard. Yeah, look at that.
Yo, you're clean, bro. That's you?
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
That's dope. Look when is this? 2015. So that was your first. This is like your third video?
That was my first one.
It was your first video. Yeah.
I ever put out on my channel.
That's nuts. That's dope. Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, dude. And if you scroll like my, I had a camera guy. I didn't really know. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's cringy now that I look back at it, but
this is this is dope.
But you see how so if you go back and you see that video, the meal prep video had like 600. Okay, so look at that third video right there.
Hold on, let me get it. Hold on.
Yep, gosh, that third one right there. Okay, so how many views does that have? 349,000, right?
Yeah.
So basically the way it worked was. So when I started, what got me into this was that same guy that filmed these videos for me.
Yeah.
When we got invited to this video shoot at the gym, I showed up. There was a bunch of people. No one knew what they were doing. He was filming, just like taking a bunch of clips or whatever. And I remember like after we finished up, he was like, someone was supposed to edit it. And he was like, "Hey man, the video fell apart because we couldn't find anybody to edit it." And I said, "How hard is it to edit? Send me the footage and I'll do it." I edited that footage for that first little workout video, and that's what got my gears turning. I told the camera guy, like, "Hey, let's start doing videos." So I started doing one video a week, and I would have him come film me. And I made that meal prep video. It was the third video I ever did, right? And it's at 350,000 views now. So I did that meal prep video, and I had no idea. I remember I always looked, because you know how on the YouTube Studio you can see you can see how much money you've made on YouTube?
Yeah.
So it was stuck at a penny forever, and I just never checked it because it was depressing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, this ain't even about the money. This is just about making my brand. You know what I mean? Like making my brand better, making people like me more, whatever, trust me more. And then I remember some time went by, we're just kind of doing videos, and then I somehow refreshed that app, and there was $50 in there.
Yeah. And
I was like, whoa, how'd that happen? And I looked, and that meal prep video we just looked at was at 40,000 views. And I was like, what?
Yeah, cool.
What?
Yeah.
So then I started doing that same style of video over and over and over again. And then that's what eventually led to me going, wait a minute, if I can make money here and my plans are starting to sell. That was the other crazy thing. I started doing these videos all over again, and I'm at work one day, my phone's dinging, I'm like, holy shit! I sold 2 12-week programs and a meal plan while I'm at work, and at the time that was like $450, and I had made it over the course of like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, like I'm gonna make that just by standing in this store all week long.
Yeah.
So. So I was like, I need to focus on this. I have something here. So I talked to people at work. I was like, look, like I had worked there for so long, they'd never taken one vacation, that I had all this vacation time saved up, and they let me burn out my vacation. Like I got full-time pay, but they would let me work part-time and use the extra day of my vacation to burn those days off.
Yeah.
I got to exhaust all my vacation. Yeah, what am I weighing right there?
You're weighing. Can you see my? Yeah, 199. Dude, it was the clothes on and the hat though. You know what I'm saying?
Eyebrows, dog.
Clothes and the hats on.
Those eyebrows. Jeez, yeah, I am. Dude, I am on some steroids right there. But
you're on gear. You're on gear here.
Oh yeah. This was. I didn't know what I was doing. I want to say for this, I was on. What was I on for this? Maybe Deca. Dude, it was dumb. I was on a bunch of dumb shit. Wasn't controlling my estrogen. I was all puffy.
It's good to look back, man. That's crazy because 2015, I was doing my own videos and getting 0 views. 0.
Dude, but see, I always tell people, like, no matter what you do, like, you're always gonna eat shit in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna do stuff that gets no views.
So what? So we basically went down like mad memory lane here, and you pulled yourself out of an addiction. You had a crazy ass life.
Yeah, well, what do you think so far of all this?
It's like, so I got a very similar story. I would say similar, but very relatable. I went through drug addiction. A friend of mine was killed when I was 19, right before one of our games. He was stabbed in the chest. He got in a fight and then got stabbed in the chest. The guy went back home, grabbed a knife, came back, stabbed him in the drive-thru. He died. My buddy Glenn. We had a game the next day. And it was like nuts. And that was one of a lot of things that happened, even prior to like deaths and whatnot and stuff. So I ended up leaving my hometown. I got lied to by a coach. A coach told me that I was going to be at their school because I was basically lost 5 Division I scholarships. I'm from Windsor, so like I was getting letters from Big Ten, Big East. You know what I mean? Like, and I couldn't get through the clearinghouse in any of them because my grades were bad. You know, my SATs weren't high enough for my high school grades and whatnot. You know, court, yada yada yada. Lost it all. A coach that I knew from home went out this way where I'm at in Nova Scotia, and basically told me I was basically going to school, used me as a marketing tool to get other guys to go. While I'm like on my birthday, my 21st birthday, I'm like waiting for his acceptance letter, and then I call the coach. Hey, coach, tell him what's going on. Like, you know, I'm seeing everyone get their acceptance letter, and he's like, hey, Shreve, sorry about that, but we had an athletic director change and we couldn't get you in. And I'm at my birthday going away thing, and I'm just sitting there on the phone like this, like looking at the room at my family. It's like, yeah, okay, cool, coach. Coach is on the phone this time. He's like, yeah, maybe you can go play with my brother. He plays in, you know, his brother coached me. He's like, hey, you can go play with him. He's in London now, London, Ontario. So I was like, yeah, cool. Hey, I know, thanks, coach. You know, whatever. And I look, and I'm like, I remember having to tell him, like, yeah, so I'm going to play junior ball still in London. It was like, what happened? I had to tell him. It was like, fuck, it was in the newspaper. Like, I was going to these, I was like, you know, accepted to this and this, blah, 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 embarrassed. And I left home, went to London, flunked out of school, went to college, flunked out, drug addiction started there, even worse. Coke, ecstasy, you know, the works, you know, ketamine, you know, whatever. And then
ecstasy's the shit.
Yeah, like it was bad. Yeah. And I was, and like, you know, I was diagnosed like, you know, a borderline personality disorder, ADD and whatever. So for me, drugs for me brought me down. So it gave me like a sense of normality. So I would just basically take all these things to kind of keep myself at bay and whatnot. And then I ended up going all the way out to, I finished playing junior ball, couldn't go anywhere. I'm like, that's it for me. And then basically took my apartment. I owed rent on it. I couldn't afford it. I had no money. And I gave it all away. Everything in that apartment I gave. I'm like, wait, just take it. Whatever you're there to take, go ahead. Whatever, I'm leaving. Blah, blah, blah. Got on a Greyhound bus with my ex and went all the way out to Whistler, BC with no money. Hoping to get a job at this job fair. Got the job. And then, the addiction out there and drug selling was rampant. The drugs came in, they went out, they paid for my high, they paid for whatever, and then there was no more money. And it was like that over and over and over again. And then till I came to one, this is like fast as ever. And then I'm sitting at a party, and I'm like, man, I gotta figure it the fuck out. And I remember there was a camp out where I was in BC. I was like, I'll go to this camp, and I'll see what I can, if I can get, back into school. And I'm 23 at the time. And I called Western Washington. They're ones that recruited me a while ago. UBC, whatever, because I'm out that way. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the camp. Like, okay, we'll see you there. Whatever. So I get to this camp. Don't really remember who I am. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, what the? This is, I'm just like embarrassed again. And I do my first 40. No, it was a shuttle. And coach that was out here who coached me back in high school, who recruited me back when I was coming out of high school and I couldn't get in, it was like, Shreve. I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, yo, man, we recruited you a while ago. I'm like, yeah, I know. I didn't get in. He's like, oh, okay, cool. You want to go for dinner? I'm like, sure. So I went to dinner. Basically was like, look, man, if you can give me your school, I'll go to your school. I'm at this point, I don't go anywhere. I need to get out of here. And he's like, yeah, send me your transcripts, this and that. Send my transcripts out. A week later, I'm at a partying, and I open up my email, and my buddy's place comes up. Western Washington, gotta go back and upgrade. UBC, gotta go back and upgrade. St. Mary's University, you've been accepted into the arts, whatever. I just started crying. I'm like, this is it, my second chance. Yes. And then I get on a Greyhound back to Ontario, like basically like where I'm from. Stay with my boy for 3 months, and then get on a flight to the school, and where I've been here ever since. And that was, so I went through all that again. Drug addiction stayed into my whole entire university career, and then I started to figure it out at the end of my university career. And then 2011, I basically was going through counseling and whatnot, and then bodybuilding started 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I was like, I'm gonna use this YouTube thing and this bodybuilding thing to show people that you can make it, second chances, mental health. I'm gonna do this thing. And then, no one watched.
Of course.
No one watched. I had 100, people around here watched, 56 views. I'm doing road to this, road to that. I was a top amateur. The second I got on stage, I was third place, nationals, top 10. Next year, win. Then nationals, second place. Next year, Arnold's top 5. Let me show you this. And I'm getting, Ronnie Coleman's got videos, Flex Lewis, and I'm gonna do this thing on YouTube, and no one watched. No one watched. No one. And I was like, I'm not doing this stuff. This is ridiculous. I'm doing all this effort, 3-4 weeks out from a show. I'm sitting there, with a camera. No one's doing videos. I gotta get people to do videos for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the hustle, and I get the digging yourself out, because a lot of people can't dig themselves out of that spot. Because I remember when my mom came up to my of convocation. So I always say this, I got my 10 years ago, I graduated criminology and sociology degree, and my mom had to buy my my frame for my diploma because I couldn't afford it.
Wow.
I couldn't afford I had a guy Dave Randall, rest in peace. He was a manager, and he would make sure that guys would have beds and whatever they came up from the States or whatever. And I used to I had a buddy that had a place I used to live at, and they would all stay there. So I was always the guy that, when the guys from the States came to play, they would bunk up with me. And he didn't know that I didn't have any money, and I was just like, I had no money. And some of the guys that would, get the food, because he was bringing us food, whatever, they'd be eating. Sometimes they'd throw the food out, it was freezer burns in the garbage. I'd, wait till they're gone and be look in the garbage, grab out the food, defrost it, you know what I mean? Cook it right away, just trying to I literally I was doing all at the high that I was broke, it was bad, you know what I mean? So I, I just, that's how it was for a while. It was, I was eating out of the garbage. I couldn't afford, but I had really good people in my life that were help me, our student, our social, I forget, what is that, student services, whatever. She would give me she would sneak me extra, discount, $20, $50, cards to get at the local grocery store and get groceries. And that's how I get groceries. I cook a big thing of, chicken and ground beef, and and rice. And I would even like, I didn't know anything about like, rinsing it out. So it was just like, it was the cheapest. So it was like, extra, it was like, beef, regular beef, wasn't like extra lean.
Of course.
So like if it was in the fridge and you bring it the next day, you got like this guck of beef and soaked rice. Put it in the microwave. That's next. You take a couple bites, put it back in. You know what I mean? So I get it. Like I did I was out. I did some bachelor parties back in the day. Like I was trying to, when I was leaving, I was trying to get money, and I was in Whistler, and there was a there's a contest, and I thought it was a hot body contest. They used to do them all the time. I'm like, and it was $1,500 was the reward. I'm like, oh shit, I can get this money and I can get back home because I didn't have any money. I was couch surfing, like literally on a couch. And I do the show. It was an actual like physique show. It was like more like WBFF style. So there's like like there was a muscle round, then there was a dress up round, then there was a talent round. So I played the guitar. I played John Mayer, Bodies of Wonderland, and sang it. You know what I mean? Like the women out there couldn't handle it. It was like wow, like you know what I mean? So I won. So I was like Mr. Whistler 2006. Like that's my thing, whatever. And I got this money. Drugs gone. I bought a dog and then spent money on drugs. And then I had no money. Then this girl was like, hey man, would you like to do this? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, just parties. I'm like, what kind of parties? Like bachelor parties. I'm like, well, it's like an hour about $300. I'm like, huh? Really? And he's like, yeah. It's like, and you don't gotta take your clothes off. I'm like, well, I'm not. But I did a Chip and Dale came to like a show a while ago when I was working at a bar in London, Ontario, when I was partying. And they asked for like, what guys want to do, want to work the bar for whatever. So I worked the bar and I worked with the Chip Dales, whatever. So it was like, I kind of had an idea of what I was getting myself into. So I did bachelor parties. I go with a little speaker and like going with like, I still had the costume from my, whatever competition I won. It was like a cowboy hat and like gold and gold shorts. Like, you know what I mean? My buddy was gay and he gave me these gold shorts that I took off. They're under my Quicksilver, you know what I mean? Swimming trunks, whatever. I dished them off, wow. I'm like, 45 minutes, $350, killing it. Finish work, money's gone. Like, so I've been through, and that's a nutshell, like, you know what I mean? So I get it. So I was chuckling.
That's wild though to be that's wild.
Yeah. So like I was like, I remember my mom came to my convocation when she got my diploma, and we went up to a Peggy's Cove out here. It's a nice spot, and I dropped it on. I'm like, hey mom, my mom's a reverend, my grandfather was a reverend. Oh, his father was reverend, his father's reverend. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm telling my mom, like, it's the first time I've been honest with my mom. Like, she's watched me. I'm talking. Me and my mom got some history. Like thorn in her side. And I told her, like, for the last XYZ, I just told her I just finished going through addiction counseling, and I told her all this stuff, and she's like, baby, she's like, Jonathan, your mom's fat, and most people won't listen to your mom, but they'll listen to you. It's like your look, the tattoos, blah blah blah, your life, you can touch people, and that's literally that was right after I competed, and then I was like, that's what I was like, YouTube, this is what it's gonna be. And that's where I got the idea of like having this really transparent life on YouTube to kind of show people that you can make it after blowing it, because I was like, I was watching Eric, Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, like in my ear, like, Ray Lewis is my favorite like football player. So I'm like, I got these guys in my head when I'm doing prep, so that was my thing. So like, so when you're telling me the story, I'm just like, yo, this guy I get it. Like, right. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't see